Alright, so today we are going to be talking about finding the areas of trapezoids, rhombi, and kites. So, just like before, we have a pretty simple formula for these shapes. So the area of a trapezoid, the formula for that is the area equals half the height, so the height is this h over here, times our two bases added together. So base 1 plus base 2. So what this really is the average of our bases. So the bases added together divided by 2 times the height. But if you prefer to do it just the long way, you can say 0.5 times the height times the sum of the two bases. So what this looks like in practice, here we have our height of 1. Base 1 is 3 centimeters, base 2 is 2.5 centimeters. So our formula would be area equals 1/2 times height, which is 1, times the sum of the two bases, which would be 3 plus 2.5, or 5.5. So then I would go over to my calculator and I would do 0.5 times 1 times 5.5, and I would get 2.75. So my area would be 2.75, label centimeters squared. Just as simple as that. So you'd give this one a go on your own, but since this is a video, I will do it quickly for you. So 1/2 times base, I had that out of order. So 1/2 times our height, which is 11, times the sum of our bases, which is 55. Then we punch that in the old calculator. 11 times 55 equals, divided by 2 equals 302.5. Woo woo. See. Continuing on. So now where these get a little more challenging is when they leave a measurement out that we need. So in this case, we're trying to find the area of this shape, and they left out, where did that go? They left out our height. So they didn't give us our h value here. Now, fortunately for us, we have all the information we need to get that value, but we do have a little bit of work left. Or no, I'm sorry. We're solving for this L. Draw a segment to form the right triangle, blah, blah, blah. Triangle has hypotenuse, rectangle has a width of x feet. Okay, so they don't really tell us what we're trying to solve here, so that's delightful. We're just going to solve for the area. So we know the height is 4 because the height over here is 4. So I'm just going to fill in 9 feet here as well. And now we don't know this L down here, the second part of our base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this triangle, this right triangle, which I know is a 90-degree triangle with side lengths of 5, 4, and unknown. Now, in my head, I know there's a special right triangle that's a 3, 4, 5, so I know L is going to be 3. But if I didn't know that, I could say 5 squared equals 4 squared plus L squared, and I could do some subtraction, and I would find out that 9 equals L squared, and then I would take the square root of both sides, and I would end up with L equals 3 at the end of the day. Now, for me to find the area of this figure, I'm going to use the same formula we used earlier, which is 1/2 times the height, which was 4, times the sum of the two bases, which our top base is 9 feet, and then our bottom base is, I hate when it does that, is 12 feet. So 9 plus 12 is 21. So if I multiplied all those together, I would get 42, I believe. 21 times 4 equals divided by 2. 42. 42 feet squared. Oh my goodness, trapezoids, what? Okay, then you would do this one on your own. We would follow the same practice where we drop in this line at a 90-degree angle. we have well, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure they gave us all the information we need here. However, assuming that they did, I'm going to assume that this is a square, and I'm doing that based on it looks like a square, which would make this 6, because 3, 4, 5 triangle times 2. So using those measurements, we would say area equals 1/2 times the height times the two bases added together, which would be 28. So we do 8 times 28 equals divided by 2, and we would get did I miss something? Eight times 28. Did I mess that? Oh, I did mess that up. So it shouldn't be 28. It should be 22. That would help. 8 times 22. Trying to make sure I don't mess that up again. Divided by 2 equals 88. Much better. Much better, much happier, much cleaner. Okay, continuing on. So the second type of shape we have are rhombi and kites. And so to do the area of these, what we do is we multiply the lengths of the diagonals and then we divide by 2. Or we can say 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. And that would be our area of both rhombi and kites. And then our diagonals are these lines that run from vertex to vertex. Kind of the crosses in the middle. And you will see them noted on the outside here sometimes, like they do in this case. Continuing on to our first example. So find the area of the kite. Okay, so area equals 1/2 of our diagonal 1, which I'm going to call 7, times 12. So 7 times 12 is 84. 84 divided by 2 is 42. So the area is 42 feet squared. Boom, kite 1. So then we would do this one as well, and we would do 1/2 times 9 times 13. 9 times 13 equals, divided by 2, equals 58.5. Yay, continuing on. Okay, now this rhombus, they gave you the measures of half the diagonal. So these are equal segments, so be careful of that because they will try to trick you. So for this, we would do 1/2 times 18, because 9 plus 9 is 18, times 20, because 10 plus 10 is 20. So that should be 180 inches squared, I believe. Yep, delightful. Continuing on, one diagonal of a rhombus is half as long as the other diagonal. So if the area of the rhombus is 64 square inches, what are the lengths of the diagonals? Okay, so this is a tricky one. This is where our algebra comes into play. So I'm going to say diagonal RT is X, and then diagonal US is going to be 2X, because diagonal US is twice as long as diagonal RT. So what we could say is we could say for the formula of the area, which area in this case is going to equal 64. So 64 is going to equal 1/2 times diagonal 1, which is X, times diagonal 2, which is 2X. So what we would want to do is we would want to simplify this right side. And if I did X times 2X, I would get 2X squared times 1/2, which would be just x squared. So x squared equals 64. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I find out that x equals 8. So that tells me RT is going to equal 8, and then US is going to equal 16. All right. Now you would get to try this one, and we would say trapezoid QRST has an area of 210 square yards. Find the height. So we're supposed to find the height. We know the area is 210, and 210 equals 1/2 times my height, which is unknown, times the sum of my two bases, which is 70. So I could say 210 equals 35h, and I would divide each side by 35, divide by 35, which would give me 6. So 6 equals h. Perfect. And then this is just our formula page that you should probably jot in your notes if we're being honest. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great rest of your